So last year was a big catch up year for the legal community, and we saw a significant rise in legal tech adoption, for very obvious reasons. So based on what you've seen, has the trend of lawyers being more open towards adopting new technology continued in 2021?
Absolutely. I mean, listen, there's something I didn't get a chance to say earlier. So our view of the world is that it's all about affinity banking. And, it's a fancy way of saying, listen, banking largely has been commoditized, right? So the same product that's consumed by anyone is kind of the same product. Deposit products haven't changed in a very long time. There is, some changes that are happening, but we're starting to see, and this is a segue to your question, a lot of automation and digitization is taking place across the industry. And while attorneys traditionally haven't been the first ones to jump in and adapt, well, let's just say majority of the attorneys adapt the latest and greatest tech because it's, a regulated industry similar to banking, banks as well, right? We've seen social and mobile apps to, really get adopted by a lot of other segments before legal and financial services. So what's interesting is that even though I'm new to the legal industry, but I certainly understand and familiar with the highly regulated financial services sector, right? So a lot of similarities. So what COVID has done, honestly, it accelerated things for both legal and financial services. There are plenty of, Nota users or just, members of the legal community that we speak to that have never done video conferencing before, wow. Right? For some of us, we've been using that before, the nature of the business that I've been in, it's distributed team. I mean, we've got development teams in Eastern Europe, in India, in, other places in the world. So having those conferences is like, a second nature to people in the software industry, right? And many others, I'm sure. But now what's this done is that a lot of people are saying, hey, listen, we can meet in person, but it's just so much quicker if we just do a quick 15, 20-minute call. So to answer your question, they're adapting a lot of, PMS systems, payment processing systems, online accounting systems, right? And then they say, listen, none of those things talk to my bank. And so one of the things that we started doing native integrations into the legal tech ecosystem. We are the first bank and the only bank, to my knowledge, that integrated with Clio. And, we're starting to integrate with other PMS, leading PMS providers. But that's an example of saying, listen, the industry is getting digitized, but you need to have cohesiveness across all the services that you consume as a business, as an attorney.
It's so, because it's almost kind of counterintuitive when you take on all these I'll call them platforms, right? Like you take on Clio as a law firm, and then you want to, I don't know, you take on like a legal intake software, and then you take on a lead management system and a marketing service, and all of these things you take on, and if none of them are talking to each other, it just wastes more of your time trying to get this siloed information to somewhere else. So I do like your point that, it's important now, especially to have these things kind of communicate with each other. And that's awesome. Kudos to getting integrated with Clio. They are doing things over at Clio that just continue to blow my mind.